My sister stole my fiancé 2 months before our wedding. Tanny, was engaged to Ryan for a year and we had been together for 3 years. Things seemed perfect with our wedding plan for this summer. I met Ryan at a friend's barbecue 5 years ago, and we bonded over our love for obscure 80s movies and terrible puns. We exchanged numbers by the end of the night. Our relationship progressed quickly. Within 6 months, we were practically living together. Ryan was everything I wanted: kind, ambitious, and funny. My family adored him, especially my younger sister Betty. Despite some sibling rivalry, Betty and I were close, especially after our parents' divorce. I played a maternal role, helping her with homework and giving advice about boys. Even as adults, we talked almost daily. When I introduced Ryan to my family, Betty clicked with him right away. They bonded over rock climbing and went on weekend trips together. I was thrilled they got along so well, not suspecting anything inappropriate, as Betty had a long-term boyfriend, Jake. Ryan proposed on our 3rd anniversary with a picnic at our first date spot. We set the date for the following summer, and Betty volunteered as my maid of honor, diving into wedding planning. Everything was going smoothly until 2 months before the wedding. I came home early from work to surprise Ryan with dinner, only to find him packing. He told me he was leaving me for Betty, whom he had fallen in love with during their climbing trips and with whom he'd been having an affair. I was devastated. I confronted Betty, and her response floored me. She admitted to the affair and showed no remorse, saying they were in love and planning to move in together. She dismissed Jake, her boyfriend of 5 years, saying they had broken up weeks ago. I told her I never wanted to speak to her again. The next few weeks were a blur of canceling wedding plans and explaining the situation to confused friends and family. My parents were initially sympathetic, with my mom helping me pack up Ryan's things and listening to me cry. But soon, they pressured me to forgive Betty and Ryan, saying I was tearing the family apart. My dad even said, "At least we know Ryan will still be part of the family." I was furious and decided to cut contact with them. I focused on work, started therapy, and tried to rebuild my life. Just as I started feeling like myself again, I received a wedding invitation. Betty and Ryan were getting married, and my parents wanted me to be the maid of honor to show there were no hard feelings. I lost it, telling them they were dead to me and that I'd rather eat glass than watch my sister marry my ex. Now, my extended family is bombarding me with calls, saying I'm being petty and need to let it go. Betty is pregnant, which is why they're rushing the wedding. Everyone is acting like I'm the bad guy for not wanting to celebrate my sister marrying the man who is supposed to be my husband. I'm holding firm on not attending or contacting them, but the pressure is intense. My cousin Sarah, who I've always been close with, called in tears, begging me to reconsider. She said Betty cries daily about losing her sister and that the family won't be complete without me. I want to scream. How can they expect me to support this marriage and pretend my heart isn't shattered? But part of me is questioning if I'm overreacting. Am I letting my hurt cloud my judgment? Should I support my sister, or am I justified in cutting them all out of my life? So Reddit, AITA, for refusing to attend my sister's wedding to my ex. Edit. Thanks for the supportive comments. To answer common questions, yes, Betty and Ryan knew the wedding date when they started their affair. They planned to tell me after I'd spent thousands on non-refundable deposits. My parents are paying for Betty's wedding and refuse to help with mine. I've changed my number and blocked them on social media. I'm considering moving cities for a fresh start. Betty's ex, Jake, broke up with her after learning about the affair and reached out to apologize. I'm not publicly naming or shaming them. Thanks again for the support. I'll update if anything significant happens.